Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are now listening to That Infernal Noise podcast, part of the Mental Health News Radio Network. Fuck yeah. Well, hello, everyone. We're back. We're recording on time.
3 weeks in a row.
I know. I'm so excited for us. Excuse me while I adjust. I don't know what this is
Well, I
doing.
guess technically it'll be 4 because the other one's 2.
Oh, yeah. But we're back, and you guys get to slowly watch my hair dry. That'll be fun.
Should I take my beanie off?
That's up to you. You look good with beanies. You look good without beanies. You look good all the time, but it all depends on: is your head going to get hot? Are you going to overheat inside? We'll find out.
My head got cold as shit last night.
Really?
Like because they have the fucking blood temperature thing on the Fitbit.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
And it was fucking...
Really?
Because it's a variability thing. So it was cold as shit. I'm warm, and then I lean up against you, and you're a fucking space heater, which usually sucks, but last night it helped. But my head was cold, so it was like making my body do that weird thing.
My face was cold, and I rarely sleep with
a blanket on
over my
your
face.
Over your face, really.
Specifically. And yeah, I remember breathing, and it was really cold. Like, it's so cold, like it hurt up here. I was just like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, the cold was not, it's still not good. Like, just opening that door, you can feel that wall of fucking cold hit you, letting the dogs out and shit.
Oh, and because the wind's been like that all day. Like, when I let them out this morning, the wind was like, I'm just going to come in. I was like, no, you're not. So.
And then it did anyway.
So, I'm just glad we don't get temperatures like up north. There's negative temperature.
It would be way worse here because we have humidity. Like, if it got that low, it would be brutal.
Ooh,
fucking cold.
Yeah.
Because this is brutal cold for us, don't get me wrong.
It's the wind that makes it so bad.
It's also
slicing.
There was a video I told you about the chick from Alaska. She moved down here to Texas.
Oh.
And
yes.
She was like, I grew up in Alaska. It can be 10 below, and I can go outside in shorts and a hoodie and be fine. Down here, if it's 30 to 20 degrees, I have to bundle up in a big jacket, and everybody makes fun of me. Well, you're from Alaska. You should be able to take it. She's like, it's different. The humidity makes the wind cut.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's accurate because obviously I've never experienced winter in Alaska or anywhere up north because fuck that. Like, I don't like the winter here.
Yeah, no.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's accurate, but if somebody from Alaska is saying it, I'm inclined to believe it.
Yeah, it's like different kinds of heat. There's different kinds of cold.
And people, like, there were certain people that came from, like, New Mexico and then come to Texas
couldn't handle the heat
during the shows, and they're like, my God, it's so fucking hot. It's like, you're from the fucking desert.
Yeah, but it's
literally.
Because,
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm used to the heat.
In the same,
I don't like it, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Because it's the same thing for alcohol. Oh my God, Albuquerque. I don't know why.
Well, that's what I was talking about whenever we were involved in the music scene and all the people from New Mexico would come over to do shows.
No, that's what I was going to say, because it's basically a bowl where Albuquerque is located. It's mountains, the Rocky Mountains, and then you go down, and then it's just like a bowl, and then desert. And it's in that bowl area. So the heat doesn't get too bad because they're close enough to the mountains, and it doesn't get too cold because it's far away from the top.
It's also insulated enough from the mountains.
It's still cold
I
as
guess.
fuck, though.
I don't know.
Still cold as fuck. But yeah, people can't handle Texas. And I'm okay with that.
Texans can't fucking handle Texas.
Texans can't handle themselves. So, just putting that right on out there. So, how have you been? I ask for the listeners.
I mean, it's all right. Yesterday was a bit trying, I guess, but
Would you like to talk about it, or?
well, I mean, we tried to have morning sex, and I thought I was gonna have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
And I just kind of spiraled out of control the majority of the day because of having that
Those
enter my head,
thoughts.
and it sucked.
I was trying to think of how to word this question. What is it that like finally made you realize that you were okay, and that like you finally
Nothing. It takes time
for
because
you to just
I can't flip a switch in my brain and make it stop.
no. And I would never assume that there is a switch because I wouldn't have the depression and anxiety I have and insecurities I have if I could just I know there's no switch, but because you spent most of the time here in the office, and then eventually you did go out, once I had went to the store for detergent and I had kind of taken care of some things around the house. And
Thank you for that, by the way,
oh, you're
because
welcome.
I was supposed to do it, but I was emotionally crippled for a moment, I guess. I don't know.
It happens. It happened to me not too long ago with work. I mean, I had to cram everything in like a couple of hours, but at some point you do realize that you're feeling a little bit better. Was there something that happened that you're like, oh, okay, I feel like I'm gonna go out there now?
No, I honestly just had to get away from my own brain. That's all it boiled down to. So I came in here and I watched some of the football game. Like, did I go ahead? I can't remember when I started watching the football game. I was wanting to watch the Texans play, but there was no point because Casey was going to win anyway.
Oh, you were watching
But I started watching Star Wars lore stuff just because,
oh yeah.
like,
And before
I
that
don't
was
know.
a podcast. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, I was watching
I was
the
trying
Pivot.
to remember what you
I was
were
watching
watching.
the Pivot. I forgot about that because I was watching Megatron's episode because Detroit was playing last night. So yada yada. It made sense in my head why I was watching it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it doesn't hit that often anymore, luckily. But when it does, it still fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to deal with it the best I can and not completely withdraw, I guess, like I was before, where I would just like have to completely shut down. I was still trying to interact a little bit, but I was getting too overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because Logan wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just doing activities and shit, but I was trying to watch what I was trying to watch, and it was already hard to focus because of where my head was, and it created a whole thing. And that's why I didn't make a big deal out of it. I just got up and came in here to finish watching the shit that I was watching.
Yeah.
So
It's hard in those moments because I like New Year's Eve where it just was very overwhelming and I just needed a little bit of quiet, and that's why I ended up going into the room to write, but I didn't really say anything. I just got up and walked.
yeah, that's the same thing I did. Like I didn't really say anything. Just like I was irritated, but it wasn't necessarily because of that. It was like, why am I getting like this? More so. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is wrong? Why am I
Why am I still
reacting?
reacting like this? That was this morning. Nothing's fucking wrong. Like, and it just turned into a big thing in my fucking head. Unfortunately.
How do you normally, I mean, like, outside, I know yesterday was different because there was like a medical, or
It's
it's
not.
easier for you to feel that it is a medical thing.
It's the BPD thing. Like, this is what's going to happen. There's no, you're fine, stupid. Like, you got your heart rate up because you were doing something physical. You were putting in work like you were supposed to. And you just started freaking the fuck out. And that's what it turns in. It's that same mindset. It's that black and white thinking.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, no, you got your heart rate up. You get it up that early in the morning. It's hard for it to come back down until later on in the day, which is exactly what fucking happened.
Yeah.
So it was just a clusterfuck mentally.
Does it make it harder for you to want to plan things or like do things because of shit like that.
Absolutely. Like for the longest, for I don't know, about a year and a half after grandma, and then once mom, I mean, it was game over then. But
Yeah.
it was difficult, like even before grandma, because there was that inevitability that we were all facing that we knew.
It was looming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to plan anything. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. One, for fear that I wouldn't be here if something fucking happened.
Yeah.
And two, it just
didn't seem right.
It didn't seem right, you know? Like we felt guilty enough going on vacation when we did. Because it was after grandma, it was before mom, but I still felt guilty about it.
Yeah.
You know, because it was right in between the two of them. And like it's been really difficult to want to do anything.
Yeah.
Because of that. Because like why should I be living my life right now? And I know that's not the case, and I know that's just my bullshit fucking with me, but at the same time I don't want to do anything. And it's not like I want to do things, but the things that I want to do are here anyway.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to put more effort towards this. I want to put more effort towards reading or meditating or all that stuff, and all that stuff I do in my house. So
yeah. It's, I can assume that it was...
And like every time we've gone to like plan something, like we were looking forward to something, I can't even think of an example right now. Like, well, the last comedy show we went to, for example. Mm-hmm. Even that was just like, and it's somebody that you and I both love. We fell in love with this podcast. It started, or not started, but it helped push my mental health journey down the line.
Yeah.
And even then, I was still ruminating about shit.
Yeah.
Just like, what if this is the last thing? And it's just dumb shit like that where like I feel like I can't enjoy anything.
Yeah, because realistically, even if that is the last time, why are you gonna...
No, I understand that, but that's all my brain does to me in those moments. You know, like, and I can't fully enjoy it. I'm sitting there with my wife watching one of our favorite comedians, and the fucking whole thing was hilarious.
Oh, that chick.
And we just happened to be sitting right in the same section as the girl who was his opener,
beautiful.
Who all of her family was there,
or so
family, friends, whatever.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I got to tell that woman's mom
that her daughter was awesome.
Hilarious.
And she is. We both started following her after that.
Oh, yeah. Because every once in a while, every once in a while, I'll hear, whose pussy is this? In my head, because that's one of her jokes, and it was fucking hilarious, and she's in there now. Mm-hmm. She is just in there, and I think that's great. But
I can't watch anything that anybody's named Steve. Like, I just can't without thinking about that night.
Steve.
Fuck Steve. We have t-shirts with it now.
We do. And I'm going to include all Stevens in for Steve as well.
No, that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll allow that.
Only because you know. What do you think... What do you think we need to do? Because you're not alone in this. You are struggling the most with things like that, but you are not alone in your struggle, because I'm not going to let you just figure it out.
Well, I understand that, but that's why I let you come up with the shit. You know what I mean? Like, you tell me what we're doing, and then I'll do it. I'm not being combative. I'm not saying I don't want to. I'm still trying to come out of my comfort zone with that and not allow the shit that goes on in my head to affect us living life.
Yeah.
You know, and some of the shit I come up with, you know, like for my birthday, I know it's a Sunday, but I want to go to that fucking show. I fucking love the Browning. I love Dropout Kings. Like, I think that would be a fun show to go to, even though it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I don't usually want to do shit for my birthday, but I saw that and I was just like, that's too fucking perfect.
Yeah.
So I do want to do that. And then Miss Pat's the night before. I want to do that too. You know, just, I want to do the things, but it's, I don't know. It's a mixed bag, I guess.
I know that there's other things that are preventing planning things, especially everything that's happened over the past
Just say year. It's close to a fucking year.
Past year. I know that the situation, like, parts of our lives have changed, and I know that that's also part of why.
The majority of our life has changed.
You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, like, it's the majority of it.
Yeah.
So it's just, it is what it is right now. And seeing Logan react the way he did on Friday, just, it kind of put everything into perspective.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, that's how I feel. You know, and he's not wrong for it. I don't think he's wrong for it, but I also know the shit he's going to get for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's already happened to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a joke.
Yeah.
But I'm so over those jokes in general because I've heard it my entire life and I don't want to perpetuate it on my kid.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell him, like, I don't give a fuck, dude. If you're upset and you need to cry, fucking cry.
Yeah.
If you need to talk about shit, you're not whining. You're talking about the things that bother you. It's okay.
Yeah.
He's
There's
like,
a
"Oh,
difference.
I've been called a pussy." I was like, I don't care, dude. I don't care what people call you.
Yeah.
Because they're going to call you that anyway, because they're assholes. Mm-hmm. So, fuck them. Like, I'm your dad, and I am telling you, you can talk to me. You can talk about feelings. You can have all of that.
You
it
can
does not
cry.
matter.
You can get angry. You're not going to come at me sideways, but you can.
But that's
can
the
express your
thing, and
anger,
he
though.
knows the difference now. At 11, he understands what all of that means.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I feel like I'm doing something right there.
Very much so. Especially since that was not always your MO.
They just suck it up. Yeah. And I feel like I did Chris a disservice that way, and Kaylee.
Yeah.
Like, I know I did them a disservice that way because they weren't allowed to have certain feelings, certain reactions, and all that stuff. And I am letting Noe and Logan have those. And I get why they could be bitter
Yeah.
or whatever.
But luckily, especially with you and Kaylee, she just reacts however.
Yeah, but she wasn't always comfortable doing that either. That took time.
Agreed, but I was just saying that
Because she would always bite her tongue because she was afraid of how I was going to react.
Yeah.
And I had to come to grips with that too. So it's been a real clusterfuck for longer than I would care to admit.
Do you think that, I mean, outside of, because honestly, it does get kind of overwhelming to be the one to plan everything all the time, because I know that you don't want to plan.
But that's why I try to plan where I can.
Yeah.
Like, hey, got this coming up. This is what we need to be, whatever.
Is there something that we can do together to kind of help ease that anxiety and to...
I'm doing everything I can to do that. I'm taking time for myself. I'm doing the meditations, the praying, like all of that stuff. And it does help. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, because you've seen a drastic difference in where I was as to where I am now.
Right.
And moments like yesterday are very few and far between now. And
Right.
I'm not hiding them.
No, you're not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because before I just hide the shit. And like, no, everything's fine, but everything is very clearly not fine.
Like, I can tell.
And anybody that has a brain could tell that something's wrong with me. And because I realized this, I think it was either yesterday or earlier today. Everybody pisses and moans about me being a bleeding heart and wearing my heart on my sleeve and being emotional and da-da-da-da-da. But nobody saw anything. Nobody saw the pain. Nobody saw all of that other shit, right? Now,
The people who will notice, and we've talked about this several times, the people who notice or know each other and are
but
there
that's
from
the
each
thing
other.
that bothers me. It's like, you're down, right? But whenever it comes to somebody really needing something on a deeper level. Nada.
It's easy to help people if they need help paying for something. It's easy to throw somebody $100. It's easy to help somebody move something. It's easy to help somebody laugh. Oh, let's go have fun. It's easy to do that. It's easy to do the distraction part.
I don't like being the distraction part. I like being, let's get to the root of the fucking problem. And if you need me to sit here in silence with you for 3 fucking hours, I'm going to do just that.
Right.
Just to make sure that you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But again, that goes to me having this idealized version of everybody in my head and expecting everybody to do the same thing that I would do.
Or that yourself would do.
And I have to let that go. Because I've said it before, I'm not trying to be bitter, but it is a bitter pill to swallow.
Because it's painful. It's still painful that you are willing to do the things that you are doing.
And then to just be treated certain ways and talk to, well, not necessarily talk to, but like, I don't know. I don't like being treated like something I'm not.
That's fair.
And I don't care for that.
And that's fair.
And I've never cared for that, but I've just kind of allowed it in the course of my life over and over and over again. And then I've just kind of changed myself to hold all of that shit in because other people don't like it and whatever, or they're going to talk shit or whatever the situation is, whatever negative things associated with it. And I just don't have time for it anymore.
I agree.
That seems to be the prevailing thought for this year.
I don't
have time for it. I don't care. I don't.
I don't have enough time. I barely have enough time to take care of my family and myself. I'm not going to. And recently I found some heartbreaking news out, and that motivates me even more to not deal with everyone else's shit, because tomorrow's not promised for any of us. No matter age, race, creed, religion, it doesn't matter. Time is finite, and you don't know when your ticket's going to get pulled. And I don't want to spend my time with people
or doing things to make everybody else happy whenever you're making yourself fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And not acknowledging the things that you need.
Because
in a relationship. And I don't just mean our relationship, I mean any interpersonal relationship.
Yeah, hell yeah. We have expected ourselves from everyone else. And
spit us in the ass every time.
Every single time. Every single time. And I'm almost 40. I don't have it in me anymore. I just don't. I don't have it in me to plaster a smile on my face.
I'm not faking shit anymore.
No, I don't have it in me to, like, you motherfuckers knew, like, what you did. Like, you guys know. And if you don't...
No, it's not it's wrong. Like, what we say is wrong. Our perception is wrong. And that's how it's always been. Well, you turned it into something in your head and da-da-da-da-da. And like, okay. And I've been told that about everything. And that's why I hate the terms. The gaslighting and all that fucking bullshit. Because everybody's just like, oh, well, it's just buzzwords. And, oh, everybody's overusing it. And da-da-da-da. And like, let's think about why people are fucking using it.
I'm calling a duck, motherfucker. I don't...
And that's why I just don't care. Like, have your opinion of me. Mm-hmm. Talk however you want. Act however you want. And that goes for fucking anybody. Like, I don't care because I'm not changing the way I act anymore.
Yeah.
because I did that, and here the fuck we are still. So
Yeah. The changes, the changes you were going to make are choices that
the changes I'm going to make are for me, not for anybody else this time.
Right.
I'm not changing my mindset. I'm not changing my attitude. I'm not changing the things that I say, how I say them, whatever. If you're not one of the people that is willing to break their back for me, I'm not doing any kind of ball breaking. I'm not.
I agree.
And I don't want to hear it in return.
Yeah.
I don't, until amends are made, because I'm always the one to push the olive branch first. Mm-hmm. I'm always the one to try to keep everybody together and keep everything copacetic.
Yeah.
And I have been my entire life.
Yeah, and that's why
I'm not fucking doing it anymore.
Yeah.
I have had people have turned their back on me multiple times for the same reasons over and over again. But them doing that is acceptable, and me distancing myself to protect my mentality, my emotions, all of that shit is wrong. And you've seen that play out so many times with so many different people in the course of our relationship. And I do care about all of these people, but I can't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Because where's your give a fuck?
It's been broke.
And like, you're down, you're fucking 10 toes, all that fucking bullshit. Okay. Prove it. Because I have.
Yeah.
I have over and over again. And I haven't been the best to everybody all the time. I freely admit that.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of fucked up decisions because of a lot of stupid fucking people. But I learned from it. And I'm not trying to be that person anymore.
Yeah, and I still to this day feel guilty about my stance on a couple of things, because I know I feel more strongly about certain things than you do. And I try not to get in my feelings about it, because it's like, why don't you feel the way I feel? Like, why don't you...
But see, I've felt that way longer than you have with all of the shit.
That's fair.
I just try to act like
valid.
it doesn't fucking bother me.
Yeah.
Because certain situations have played out the same way they did 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah, and that's the thing that pisses me off the most.
And then I'm the bad guy from calling it the fuck out.
Yeah. And
I haven't even called all of the shit out because I know it's not going to do anything. It's just going to be like, well, you're full of shit. Your brain's doing shit. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. Because that's not what fuck happened. Okay.
Okay.
But my memory is the one that's better than fucking everybody's. And everybody has said that repeatedly.
Yeah.
So
but even if that were to be said, the things that have happened, that if they were to happen to the other people, it would not be okay.
Less has happened to the other side, and it was not okay.
I know.
I'm just saying. I'm calling a spade from now on.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about how whatever makes anybody feel. Because nobody cares about how I feel.
No.
And nobody has for a very long time.
Yeah. There are...
Because I've raised points of contention and questions and why is this like this and da-da-da-da-da multiple times.
Yeah.
Over all of these different relationships.
Yeah.
And nothing ever gets changed. Nothing ever gets done. Some good shit will get talked for a little bit, and then it goes right back to what the fuck it was. Like, okay, fine. I don't have time for that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to change my life for the better.
Yeah.
And I can't keep doing it with you stagnant fucks.
Yeah.
I'm not lowering myself to everybody else's level anymore. Everybody needs to raise themselves to my level.
Yeah.
And I've said that before, and it sounds egotistical, but
it's facts.
I just don't know how else to look at it at this point.
Yeah. And I don't think we should have to. I know that our mental health journey is very personal to each one and individualized. And I know that we are doing this for ourselves. Like, we are taking care of our mental health for ourselves and by proxy each other and the kids. But my thing is that there are so many. It's just frustrating. I think it's hands down.
Fucking tell me about it.
Because even as individuals, we have realized, okay, I need to do this because it's the betterment of the whole. And yes, there are still things that...
I'm never going to stop working on shit.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something, but in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to fuck with anybody who's not also trying to make the best out of their shit.
And I have my own opinions about that, but... Because there's a lot of people that say they're trying to make the best out of it, but they're not. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially with the people we surrounded ourselves with.
Yeah.
And everybody just wants to keep perpetuating these same cycles over and over again, and wondering why...
Nothing's changing.
Well, why does everybody use me? Oh, why does everybody fucking leave? Oh, why does nobody want to be around me? All that shit. I've asked all those questions about myself, and I figured it the fuck out. Yeah. And I changed it. I'm not perpetuating the same shit, expecting different results.
Yeah.
So, and how many times have we seen that happen in the past 10 years?
Oh, so many.
Different people.
Oh, yeah, so many.
And I have no sympathy for it anymore. It's like, you guys want to wallow in your own fucking misery and keep doing the same things over and over again with the same people over and over again. This is not my fucking problem.
Same person in a different body.
Like, there's no point. There's no fucking point. Until I see real effort, my energy's cut off from you motherfuckers.
Yep.
I still have to think about it because in the day and age of social media, you have no choice but to fucking think about it. But overall, it's just like, meh. Have fun.
Because I can't. Like, we saw pictures recently, and it's like, oh, that picture looks like a bad time. Like, that picture looks painful. It looks like you're gonna wake up
and feel like shit.
The worst.
I kept my mouth shut about sobriety for the longest fucking time, and I'm not doing that anymore either.
Well, and you shouldn't have to.
But I'm the downer, and I'm the one that, oh, you just can't fucking handle it, and shit like that. And like, no, I could handle it better than fucking anybody for the most part, until I couldn't. And because I can drink with fucking anybody, and I can drink most people under the fucking table.
Yeah, but handling your liquor on an emotional level.
Yeah, but then you're a pussy. Well, of course you get emotional.
Yeah.
Like, and just, okay, what the fuck ever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry I'm not doing dumb shit like I was whenever I was drinking all the fucking time. I'm sorry I have a clarity now that I don't want to tolerate all of this less than shit.
Yeah. It's just a vibration. I'm
not fucking with it anymore. I'd rather sit at my house and do fuck all nothing than to deal with all that other bullshit.
Yeah.
I'd rather sit down with a fucking good book while you're doing your night stuff. I'm sitting in bed reading, and that's what I've been doing the majority of the fucking since the new year.
Yep.
And I've enjoyed it. There is a peace and a calm that I can't explain.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing something to better my mind.
Yeah.
To learn about things that I'm interested in. Instead of just doing the same mindless drivel that everybody's been doing forever and accepting it as what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we still watch TV. Yeah, I still watch fucking football. I do all of that shit.
Yeah.
They're winning 28-22 right now, by the way.
Nice.
But, like, I don't know. Something inside of me broke. And that used to be a bad thing. It's not a bad thing anymore.
After Mom, whatever broke, because we're on the same...
It was consistently breaking from that point, where just all this bullshit is falling away. like one after the other.
Yeah.
It's like something cracked on the inside, and then the layers are just falling off since then. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it.
I agree. Because it's easy to get lost in this shit. It's easy to do the easy thing. It's easy to give up. It's easy to
do the socially acceptable thing.
Yeah.
Let's numb it.
And I'm
Let's run away from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, even...
Have fun. You're running that way. I'm going this way.
Yeah. Because even with you and I, like, we've said so many times to each other, I would rather fix this 100 times over than just give up.
But we're also putting in the work to fix it and not just allowing things to perpetuate in the same ways.
Right.
And that's the difference that I see between us and a lot of people.
Agreed.
Because it's just like, oh no, I can't do anything about it.
Like one person is doing the work, or none of the people are doing the work.
And it's just like, okay, good luck. Like, continue being miserable. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be miserable.
Yeah, no.
If I have to come home and be fucking miserable, I'm leaving.
Yeah, there's no point.
Like, if my home is not my peace in every sense of the word, where I don't have to drink, where I don't have to pop pills, where I don't have to snort a fucking something, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no.
I'm not.
No. And
if I can't go to sleep peacefully every night beside the person that I want to without worrying about bullshit,
yeah,
I don't need to be next to that fucking person.
Right. And I still deal with my insecurities of, like, abandonment and feeling like I am more than just something. But that's deep-seated, where I feel like I wasn't born to have my own life kind of thing. And I've talked about that. But, like, I still struggle with insecurities, but I know that if I know I can talk to you about them. Honestly. I know that I can be like, hey, and I have, hey, I would like to feel this kind of way. I would like this kind of stuff, and that's panic inducing for me because I don't usually say things like that. And I am still very, very much of the opinion that the insecure part of it is very much of the opinion that I am just, if I just stay as small and hide away as much as possible, as long as I don't make ripples or rock the boat or do all those cliche things and sayings, that everything will be okay. But I know that that's not
How'd
true.
that work out for you?
Exactly. Because I spent the first however much of our relationship just acting like everything was okay, and
just trying to keep me calm and keep the peace.
Yeah.
How the fuck did that work out?
It didn't.
And I see those cycles perpetuate with others, and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
You're allowing shit that you don't like to continue.
Yeah.
And you're okay with it. And just, okay, good luck. And I mean that. I do mean that wholeheartedly. Good luck. But don't expect me to sit around for it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see the same bullshit over and over and over again. Whenever I had to see it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
After it was brought up, after it was addressed, after whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it. And I don't
agree.
feel bad for that anymore. Because before, I would always put my foot down and say something and then start going back on it immediately because I wanted everything to be normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not now.
Oh, yeah.
And part of me feels guilty about it because why wouldn't I? But the other part's just like, fuck it. Like, I'm the only one that has to make changes.
Right.
I'm the only one that has to change my mindset. No.
Yeah. Like, you and I were having a conversation, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
There's no fucking telling. We have a lot of conversations about a lot of things.
This is true. But you were saying that if I hadn't felt so strongly about a certain situation that you would have...
I probably would have just let it perpetuate.
And that really upset me yesterday.
I'm sorry.
Not in a way...
I think that was Friday, by the way.
And
Regardless.
It upset me, not in a angry way. Not an angry way. It made me feel bad for you.
That's what I've had to do my entire life to keep what little love and support around me.
And in turn made me feel bad for myself.
Because that's what we've always had to do.
Yeah.
And now...
Please know that you are worth...
I do know that now.
And you don't have to deal with bullshit.
I do know that now.
I know.
Because I've had to deal with bullshit from you, too. And I'm not dealing with that shit anymore, either. It's like, no, we're either going to fix this shit or we're not going to be together anymore.
Yeah, and likewise, I've had to deal...
both ways. Yeah, both ways. It's like, I wouldn't expect you to let me continue doing the same dumb shit that I've always done.
Yeah.
You're the only one that has the...
And I still work on this.
Everybody acts like I'm so emotional and I can't be talked to and I can't be reasoned with and all this shit.
And at times, yes, that was the case. Was being the word, though.
Then also say they're not scared of fucking anything and they're not this, that, and the third. And I'll keep it real and all this shit.
I'll tell you right now, I'm scared of everything.
And it's just like, but I thought I was the bleeding heart pussy. I thought I was the weak one. I thought so which the fuck is it? And I've had to jump back and forth my entire life with that shit.
It's whatever fits at the time.
I know. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm done with all these contrived notions of who I am from outside and inside.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just done with it. I'm going to be who I want to be now. I take full credit and responsibility for everything that I've done in the course of my life.
Yes, you do.
And if anybody wants to call me out on some shit, call me out on some shit. Because I'll air everything.
Yeah.
I just don't care anymore. I don't
either. I don't either.
And I don't want negativity. I don't want the back and forth and the fighting and the arguing and the hostility and all that passive aggressive bullshit. I fucking can't stand it.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep it real for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a cordial person. I know how to show respect to people I don't respect. There's no other way to put it.
That's fair.
And I'll do that.
Yeah. Same here.
But don't come at me sideways, though.
Yeah. A lot of people think my silence is disrespectful, though.
A lot of people think silence is weakness. And that's fucking dumb.
And it also, a lot of people also mistake my silence for stupidity or lack of... They think I have lack of knowledge or that I'm ignorant to a situation. And then that's the thing that pisses me off the most is that the vast majority of time, people can say that I'm crazy or overreacting or... Am I wrong, though?
Yeah.
Am I wrong, though?
And that's the thing that never actually gets said.
Am I wrong, though?
Nobody ever actually addresses what's being said. It's you're overreacting.
But I'm right.
Coincidentally, you left out
the fact that I'm
yes
actually,
or no in that situation.
Yeah. You're leaving out the fact that I'm actually correct. I am 100% correct, and you know I'm correct.
But the other side of it, they don't know. They don't realize.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Because nothing could be wrong with the other people. The problem is always sitting on us.
Yeah.
It's always on the outside. Well, they need to change. And you've seen that perpetuate with so many of those people and the outside relationships. And you've seen those exact things come to pass in the exact same way. It's always somebody else. It's always somebody else's fault.
Even if those somebody else's are changing and trying to do better and things like that.
And it's like, even remove us from the equation, you can see those same things. those same
Yes.
type of people.
And the thing is, and it's funny, what I think is funny, the most funny, is that people, or when people get so up in arms about things that have been done and turn around and do either the same thing or make it look like it was something else. And then everyone else has to... But long story... Yeah. Yes. You and I, specifically, for the vast majority of our relationship, have been the ones to try to do better and try to change and try to do things differently.
I've always tried to do that. I don't like being the same person I was a year ago.
Right.
And you've known that about me since we fucking met. And I'm not happy that I've had to stagnate and that I did make myself smaller or make myself more palatable or change myself entirely to fit in with these certain groups and cliques and people and all this shit.
And I still do that. And I still struggle with that. Even with you, I feel like I have to be a certain way or like I can't react or like say things a certain way, like, because I feel like that goes against who you think I am, or like, I don't know.
You're the one person I don't have an idealized version in my head of anymore.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I just accept you the way you are.
Okay, then I like that.
Because you've proven to me that you can be yourself and you're still going to be here.
Yeah.
Everybody else switches up, changes. They say one thing and then actions prove different. You've been the only consistent person.
I have my whole life, and this is going to sound probably stupid to some people. I grew up with no father. So I do, and I have been historically in the negative cycle of trying to find...
typical daddy issues bullshit.
Yeah, where I try to find acceptance and validation in other people, which is not
foolish.
Healthy.
It's foolish at best.
Yes, it's foolish at best. But...
And I don't say that diminishingly. It's just that's dumb as fuck.
It is,
and I say that
I mean,
having done the exact same thing. I had the same daddy issues, but I also had the mommy issues too.
Same, yeah.
And I did the same thing, seeking that outside validation from the opposite sex, and it got me fuck all.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, everything I've done, I do because I want someone to do that for me. Everything I do, I want someone to mirror. I would like to say I do a lot. I would like to say that I'm always here to listen. I'm always here when people need me.
Everybody says that. Everybody says that.
That's
you
fair.
Have actually shown that you are. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because I have been told that by literally every woman I have ever been with. I'm here to listen. And then whenever it crosses a certain line, they don't want to fucking hear it no more.
And I've, there are certain ways.
Whenever you start setting boundaries,
yeah.
and those boundaries didn't exist before, that's not acceptable either.
Oh, yeah. No, of course not. Because why would you want your partner? I want you to feel like you're a whole person where you have autonomy of your life.
Because you haven't liked everything that I've said. You haven't liked everything that I presented you with, or the things that I was struggling with, or what the fuck ever. You still listened to me. You still allowed me to grow and understand those sides of me as to why they were like that,
and
as opposed to just, well, you're fucked up.
And
because that's what I've been told my entire life.
Yeah, I have never said that. I have definitely said, no, that's not what I was doing, disregarding that's how I made
that's
you
how
feel.
It was perceived, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're both guilty of that,
yeah.
too.
But I I have everything I've done, everything I do in life, I have always done because I want someone to mirror that. And I know people are like, oh, well, that's conditional. And that's no, because I'm still going to do it. And that's the thing, is that
that's
no
not
matter
conditional. That's still having
some standards.
A standard, yeah. And it's so fucking odd that I can't find that fucking word. And that just kind of proves everything we're talking about.
Just because I am severely low maintenance doesn't mean like the bare minimum.
But it doesn't mean you don't deserve anything.
Yeah. And that's, I will always do the things that I have always done because I have always been this person. I have always been there for someone. I've always. And I was the one before cell phones who was getting left at a location by myself because none of my friends wanted to come tell me that they're not meeting up anymore. And I sit there for an hour by myself. That was me. I have been me. I have done the things that I've done. I've always been there. I have always bent over backwards. And I have just wanted someone to mirror that. Always.
Well, that's what I told you whenever you and I got together the final time.
Yeah.
There were questions and whatnot that were left open-ended. You broke down and you were finally honest with me.
Yeah.
And that changed the entirety of everything for me.
And I still...
Because as I'm not getting into what the actual situation was.
But I know what it is.
I've always wanted somebody to burn everything down for me because I'm willing to burn everything down for them. You were the only person that matched that fucking energy.
And I have...
And did. And that's the thing. Because I've burned shit down for people and it meant nothing.
And I've been the only one from my perspective. I've been the only one to be honest about. When from other people, I've been the only one to be honest about anything. There were things that I withheld because of the timing and because of this specific situation. There were things I didn't want to, things that I've been called, I didn't want to actually be. Because that was not my goal. I wasn't trying to wreck anything. I wasn't. But I've always wanted somebody to pick me 100%. And I know that it turns me into a pick me girl and whatever. But I will be a pick me for the person who is picking me. I will do everything I can. And I've done things for people who didn't even pick me.
We were talking about that earlier.
And then it's like, you have to at some point be like, okay, I have to forgive myself. But girl, you gotta stop it. Because I'm always gonna pick you. Always. I've been picking you since for a long time. I'm not gonna say the year, but for
longer
a long
than
time.
you should have been.
I'm gonna pick you.
And vice versa.
Yeah, and that is a very scary part because I struggle with that because it's like, am I just convenient to be with? You were
anything but convenient to be with.
I am super convenient. I spoil the fuck out of everyone. I do. I make people's play.
Okay, you're talking about things you do. You're not talking about you yourself. There's a big fucking difference. Okay. You're talking about acts of service. You're not a fucking walk in the park, dude. And I say that knowing I'm not a walk in the fucking park.
That's fair.
So let's just get that.
That's okay.
Off jump.
Okay.
You are a lot to deal with. And I have told you that before. I do not say that negatively.
Yeah, that's because
there's a lot to deal with whenever it comes to all of your bullshit. The same way there's a lot to deal with whenever it comes to all of my bullshit. I don't shrink you. And I don't want to shrink you.
I struggle with that because I feel like I have
But
to
that's
shrink
what I'm
myself.
saying. And I have to fight against that. So it's not easy
Okay.
to be with you.
Okay,
I choose
convenient.
I choose that every single day.
That's fair.
Knowing she might fucking go sideways. The same way you have that same thing in mind, like, God, I hope we don't flip out today.
I mean, convenient because I handle a lot of things because of the things I do. That's what I mean by convenient. Rude. You got to bring up like mental shit. But
It's all part and parcel. Every single bit of it.
I know, but I do want to say that even though I still struggle and that I'm going to continue to struggle because I'm not over it yet. Obviously, it's not like it's something that you just snap and all your insecurities.
God, I wish.
I know.
That'd make life so much easier.
I'd have snapped all kinds of shit all over myself already. I'd have been okay. I'd be okay by now. I know I'm going to have insecurities, but it is nice knowing that, or I'm getting more comfortable with the fact that I can say whatever to you because you know that I'm not going to come at you sideways. I'm not going to call you out your name. I'm not going to come at you disrespectfully.
But see, that even past that, if we do come at each other sideways, we both have the wherewithal to be like, yo, what is that?
Where is that coming from?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
Because we've both had to do that.
Yes.
We're just like, hold on,
Yes.
calm down. Like,
Yes.
where's this coming from?
Yeah. So I am getting used to that, and I am trying to be more comfortable in just saying, hey, whatever. But it is easier when my husband, my partner in life, is saying, and I know that you've always told me, hey, just say whatever you need to say.
But I understand why that wasn't the easiest.
But I'm glad that I'm starting to get to that point now. I know that tomorrow is not promised for anybody. Hell, even if you wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I don't actually,
Deuces.
And we've had this conversation, and same with me, and you've told
And
me
I
the same
think
thing.
that's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way that we've had that conversation, by the way. Because, like, we mentioned something like that around Kaylee. And she was like, whoa. I'm like, no, we have to have those conversations.
I have to be realistic about it because you've also told me, hey, if I wake up tomorrow and be like, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore, that we would have to have a different conversation. Mm-hmm. And we've both told each other that because we have spent our whole lives trying to make people stay, trying to make people love us, trying to make people stay in a situation that they obviously don't want to be in.
And not just romantically, just in general.
Friendships. Mm-hmm. I've done that with so many friends, so many, just stay and love me.
What do I have to do?
What do I will,
no.
I have
and then you change so much about yourself, and then you end up hating yourself.
I don't know who I am.
And we've both done that.
Yep.
And that's the point of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that anymore.
No, not at all.
If you don't like me for who I am, authentically, 100%.
I don't have time for it.
Fuck off the hell away from me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Call me whatever you want. Act like I'm whatever you want. Tell everybody
whatever. You want.
That's fine. I don't care anymore. I
kind of, like, now I'm on the... Because of all of the things that we've talked about, especially over the past year, especially in the past month, over the conversations we've had on this podcast and all of that stuff, like, everyone can respectfully fucking choke. I'm done.
I don't want anybody to choke. But
I don't mean literally. They can choke on the space I take up because I've always tried. And I have a big personality. And I am end up being very big.
You're usually the loudest person in the room.
But I feel bad for being myself in most cases because...
I'm going to tell you this so you hear it from me directly. You don't embarrass me. I think it's fucking adorable. And I think it's even funnier whenever it does make other people uncomfortable. Because it's just like,
I'm just being
you can't accept somebody just because they're like, whatever, fuck it.
I just like talking to people, and I like being me. Sorry.
That felt weird, didn't it?
That came out so naturally.
I am proud of you, though, because I saw it. You meant it. That's good.
I do. But yeah. Whew! That's a whole other episode of shit to unpack. Oh my god. Okay, anyway.
That's a good episode of shit to unpack, though.
That is. Wow. Okay.
Might record tomorrow just to get that one
Okay,
done.
let's record tomorrow, too. But yeah, with everything this is our year. This is the start of the rest, I think. Because last year really fucking showed us a lot of things.
It showed us everybody.
And,
like, all the facades were dropped. Everything.
And I'm okay with it just being me and you. And I'm okay with... I'm okay. And, everybody else you can either grow with us or you can... stay where you are, and that's okay if you want to stay where you are. But
get on the train or get out of fucktown. Isn't that what Deadpool said?
But yeah, so the takeaway from this is just continue to be yourselves. Work on actually liking yourself and being able to just say it offhandedly and start crying at the end of a podcast, because that's what you do.
Because son of a bitch, I do love myself.
Son of a bitch. But like... Again, and I say this at the end of every episode, if you need resources, please reach out, because we can help you. Point you in directions, do something. Just love yourselves. Always try to know yourself, because at the end of the day, that is who you have to go to sleep with. Do all the social media stuff.
TikTok's still there.
TikTok's back. Yeah.
Did everybody survive after being gone for 12 hours?
Not even a full 12, but yeah, it was craziness. But do all the social media stuff if you think someone else might benefit from this. If you have questions, comments, suggestions for topics, let us know. We cannot read your minds through the cameras. I would love to, though.
I don't. I have a hard enough time picking up on people's emotions. I don't need to fucking read people's minds. Jesus Christ, I can't imagine a worse hell.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. But
because
anyway.
I thought I wanted that power as a kid, and then the more I thought about it, like, no.
But yeah. Anyway, guys. Catch you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you like this episode, or know someone who would, please help us grow the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Keep up with all episodes on Buzzsprout or anywhere else you get your podcasts.